Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Expert cautions against spreading Whiterock's proposal to integrate XRP into the federal banking system. Okay guys, let's get into it. So, I'm sure you guys have seen this by now, the Whiterock proposal. And it was basically a letter that came out, and it was talking about trying to integrate XRP into the federal banking system, obviously, as you can hear from the title. So I'm in a group, right, a crypto group, and I literally saw this come in this morning. I saw it get posted, and I saw the person who had posted it. I think it's Levi. Is it Levi Richgerald or something like that? He's like a popular YouTuber. And as soon as I saw his name, I'm like, is this true? Because I'll be honest with you, I've seen some of his content in the past and things that he's put up on X, and it's been wildly inaccurate and sometimes just completely false. Like, so even when I just saw his name straight away, I was like, I question this. Tried to go on to the actual post to see it properly, but it had been deleted. So I was like, okay. So I thought I'd get into this now and have this conversation. And like, you know, like sometimes when I do this, right, like I look at how my channel is, and I'll be honest with you, long story short, I've been shadow banned again. So this is the second time this has happened. So it's got a rough few months probably coming. We'll see how I decide to maneuver with that. But like I do all this content, right, in terms of like trying to help people, and honestly, like it helps my conscience, because I could just do hype content. I could just like put this out and say, you know, yeah, this is secretly showing you that, you know, the banks are going to secretly integrate XRP, but it does nothing for me other than just cleaning my own conscience, to be honest with you, because it's massively stifling my channel. I just get a lot of hate a lot of times. I'm having to get into like arguments with people because they're you know, believing all this stuff, and they think, you know, I'm the idiot for believing these things, which is completely ironic. You know, it's just crazy. But let's really get into this. So the expert in question is Vet, who, you know, if there's anyone who I was actually going to call an expert, I would actually say Vet is one of them. He's an actual DUNL validator for the XRP ledger. So I'll actually say Crypto basically got it right on this one. And I'm not going to show the proposal. I'm sure you guys have probably seen it floating about, but there's been a proposal that's been put out, and, you know, like, as I say, it's basically pointing out that they're talking about integrating XRP into the banking system. Long story short. And, you know, the thing that I just want to say to you guys with this, because, you know, Vet is basically saying the same thing, but it's like, if you guys have been in the XRP community or following XRP for longer than, let's say, 3-4 months, I'd like to think that you have that idea that you should start to question things that you see, right? Like, a lot of the stuff that gets put out about XRP is wildly fabricated. Sometimes just absolute lies. You know, like, my thinking is like, I don't know why people don't just question things. That would be my advice to you. Like, just question things. Just have a bit of a skeptical outlook. I think my thing is, people want this stuff to be true so bad that they just take in anything that sounds positive, even if it doesn't sound realistic. And this is what Vet has basically said. He said, look, like, this kind of stuff doesn't do any favors for the XRP community, because it just makes us look like tinfoil hat people, right? Like, where we're just throwing out all these random things with no real foundation of evidence for it, and then we just make these wild accusations about how great XRP is going to be. And I agree. I'll be honest with you, I do. Like, I think when you just start throwing out these things and you've got no real evidence and stuff like that, like, it will be hard for some people that, you know, look at the XRP community to sometimes take us seriously. Like, I've just got to be honest, because when you just start latching out on these things and putting these kinds of things out there, like, people are seeing this and they're thinking like, wow, like, is that all it took for them to start believing that narrative? it's a bit wild. I'm just going to be honest with you. There's no basis to this, to be honest with you. Like, there's nothing to it. To me, like, in the age of like AI and, you know, how we know people can edit things and doctor pictures and stuff like that, like, my thing would be just question everything. Like, honestly, when I see things about XRP now, even if it's just mildly positive, I still try to make sure that, you know, I'm checking the source and, you know, making sure that I'm confirming the information is accurate, especially as I've got a channel, right? Because I don't really want to put out inaccurate information. So I try my best to fact check the information just to make sure it is correct, right? And I just think for you guys as investors, you should do the same thing, because at the end of the day, this is stuff that's going to impact your it's going to impact your buying and selling strategies, right? Your investing strategies. Like, if you start seeing these kinds of things, right, and you're thinking, oh, well, there you go, look, you know, we can see proof now that they're going to integrate XRP into the banking system. And then you think like, oh yeah, and this is when they were talking about that flip the switch moment, and this is that happening. Obviously, you're going to be thinking, well, doesn't that mean that XRP is going to hit $10,000 soon and stuff like that? It's giving you that confirmation bias, right? It's, yeah, I knew it was going to happen, and this is what I need to show everybody because this is the confirmation that it's going to happen. And it's that thing that can lead you down a bad path, right? So my only thing I would say to you guys is just question this stuff. Like, if you see something that sounds good, just question it. You know, like, there was a proposal that was put on the SEC website. Everybody started to believe that the SEC were saying, you know, XRP is going to be used by banks and stuff. It only took me literally 2 minutes to go onto the SEC website, check it, see, oh, okay, it's actually a proposal done by this guy who's a random, and it's a proposal. So it's just something that he's proposing to the SEC. And it shows that, you know, the SEC accept proposals on their website. Doesn't mean that they're going to acknowledge it. Doesn't mean they're even going to read it. It's just on the website for people to look at and critique and review. So straight away, I'm like, okay, so that's clearly nothing to be, you know, getting excited over. And that was it. And that took me 2-3 minutes, you know? But a lot of people see these things and it's just like, oh yeah, that's another positive thing about XRP. It's going to go to the moon. It's going to go to the moon. And, you know, like, I believe it or not, like, I'm not saying this to be disrespectful. My thing is that I worry for people who are going to mess up the opportunity with XRP. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's genuinely what my concern is. Like, I'm not saying this to be like, oh, you guys are idiots and stuff like that. No, like, what I'm just saying is, like, I want you guys to be as prepared as possible for, you know, what's going to happen within the bull run and what's realistic with XRP. So if you have as much information readily available, then you can make an informed decision on whether to, like, sell at certain price points and things like that, right? So, you know, my intentions are good. You know, this might sound like I'm being, you know, like I'm being negative or I'm being disrespectful. That's genuinely not my intention. Like, all I want is for people to have the best opportunity in this. That's the whole reason why I started the channel. And yeah, like I say, I've really put myself in a pigeonhole doing this, but I genuinely couldn't just start saying things that I don't believe. Like, I couldn't come on this channel now and start saying, oh yeah, look, like, you know, here's proof of XRP going into the federal banking system. Like, I just couldn't do it. I just can't. So I have to just keep doing this, no matter how much it affects the channel and how much it stunts my growth and affects me, and, you know, the battles I have to go through with people. It's just what I have to do. But yeah, like, it was calling out influencers saying, like, look, like, you guys have got to stop, like, just posting absolutely anything you find without doing any kind of, like, background checks, because it's not good. Because one, you're leading your followers astray because they're seeing this and feeding into it. And two, you're actually, like, making, you know, the bigger people out there who are seeing this, you're kind of making us a laughing stock, right? Because they're seeing this stuff and they can clearly tell it's not right, it's not accurate. And they're thinking, like, how are these people just lapping this up? So, you know, like, I agree with Vet here. I'll be honest with you. Like, as content creators, you've got a duty, especially as you're putting out content for people to watch and consume. to try and at least fact check your information. I think, you know, like a lot of people I don't really think they take this, like the content creation like thing seriously, in the sense of, one, I think they do because they know it's going to get views, so it's going to equal money to them. So, you know, for them, it's happy days. And two, I just don't think they care. Like, I just don't think they care. So for me, I do take it seriously. Like, I understand that even if it's like only 50 people who watch my video, those 50 people are watching my video and consuming my content. And I want to make sure I do my best to give them as much accurate information as I can. And if I make a mistake, I'll come and correct it, right? I'll say, look, I apologize. This is not accurate, etc. Because that's how I see it. Like, this is people watching me, no matter how many. They're watching me and they're taking in information. So I just do my best. Like, I'm not saying I can't make mistakes. Everybody can make mistakes, but I do my best to try and make sure it's as accurate as I can possibly make it, right? So yeah, I'm not going to get into it too much, guys. I'm going to pretty much leave it there. But like, I just want you guys to like question these kinds of things. Like, there's no basis to this whatsoever. Nothing's been like solidified to say that it's legitimate or anything. I think it's going to be doctored. I don't think it's going to be real, especially as Levi took the post down. In the end, he deleted it. That would make me think that he's probably put it out and then realized, yeah, it's not legitimate or whatever, and so he's had to take it down. So, like, my thing is just, guys, just be careful, right? Like, as I say numerous times to you, like, a lot of these influencers, they're just doing this for the money. A lot of them are. They don't care what they're spreading. They just find anything that sounds positive and just put it out there. They don't do no fact checks or anything like that. They don't try and get no evidence to back it up. They just put it out. And unfortunately, because a lot of people want XRP to be so successful, they run with it. They just run with it. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And, you know, like, this isn't like a woe is me, but like, I would like to have a bigger channel, not because I want, you know, big followers, because if I wanted big followers, I just wouldn't do this type of content, right? But it's because I'd like to be able to have the opportunity to combat this kind of stuff. I'd like more people to see my content, so more people are getting a more accurate side of these kinds of things, because you've got the one side of these people hyping this stuff up. You've got the one side of these people hyping this stuff up. It would be good to have the other side of a content creator like me who's trying to dispel this stuff as well. And I'm not saying I'm the only one. You know, Moon Lambo's a big channel and he does this stuff as well. Crypto Every too. But there's not many, you know? There's not many. So I would like to have a bigger channel just for the fact that I'd like to be able to reach more people and try and help them with this kind of stuff and give them more factual information. But it is what it is. I've accepted my position, so, you know, it's fine. But yeah, as I say, guys, just be careful, because this kind of stuff can really lead you down a bad path. Just question everything. That's all I'll say. Just question everything. Just do checks. Like, if you see a post and it sounds good, maybe just quickly do like a Google search on it or something. Like, just see if you can find something that actually backs up what has been posted. You know, see if you can find anything like an article or, you know, an official statement from like Ripple or something like that. Just something that gives you confirmation that it's real. You know. All right. Well, I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching this. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that bell. Take care.